Welcome to Monday Morning Moments. I'm Mike Van Hoozer. Today we're continuing the series of pursuing greatness and creating moments that matter. And we got an incredible amount of feedback on the first two episodes of this podcast series, especially the one with the interview that we did with Aiden Morrison last week. I had a great conversation with him, and he offered such great insight for parents, for athletes, for anybody pursuing greatness and excellence in their lives. And so we'll post a link to that, but go back and watch that if you really want to dive into the insight of a champion, the insight of somebody who's pursuing greatness every day as well. Today, I wanted to talk to you just real briefly about some things that come up in the course of competition, the things that come up in the course of just us pursuing our goals. And there are two things that I see a lot of times with athletes we're preparing them for competition, and then we debrief after that. And sometimes they're shocked by not having everything go perfect. Maybe you can relate to that as you're pursuing a goal in sports, business, or life, that we have this expectation, either consciously or subconsciously, that everything's just going to go perfect, it's going to go smooth. And we know from living experiences that it's not always like that. And so what I see with athletes, what I see with people just in life in general, and I've seen it in my own life, is that sometimes we're shocked when things don't happen the way we expected them to happen. And then sometimes that can lead to the second S, or the second feeling of being stressed about how to proceed forward. And if my athletes aren't prepared for that, to know, hey, there's going to be things that come up in the course of competition that we need to prepare for. It may not all be perfect. And to not be stressed when those things happen, but to lean into certain things that they prepared for, to persevere through that moment and to accomplish their goals. I love in John 16:33 in the Bible where Jesus is talking to the disciples and talking about what's going to happen to him. But then he says at the end of all of that, he said, I've told you these things for a reason. In this world, you're going to have trouble, or you're going to have major league tribulation. But take heart, and that's a strong word. I think a lot of times when somebody says take heart, we think that's a really soft word. Oh, just take heart, it'll be okay. But he wasn't saying that. Word there for heart is courage. Take courage in this, that in this world you're going to have trouble, but in me you can find peace. And take heart, I've overcome the world. And at that particular moment in time, in his legacy, he had not overcome the world, but he was speaking in future tense about what he was going to do, and giving them encouragement, but also giving us encouragement that we could take heart, we could take courage, that he has overcome the world. And we know that now, living after the legacy of everything that he did for us. And we just have to believe in that. And I think that's been of great courage and of great help and great peace to me, to have peace in that when I face incredible challenges in my life, or when I'm preparing an athlete to face incredible challenges. We may not know what those things are. They can take heart in that, and at a deep foundational level, that we can have peace in Jesus in those moments. And then also to not be shocked by that, but not be shocked when things come up, but know, hey, there are going to be things that come up in the course of competition, that come up in the course of us pursuing our goals, that we need to be prepared for. And need to prepare, what is our response going to be to that? Not what is our reaction going to be emotionally to that in the moment, to where we retreat and spiral downwards, but that we prepare a response to that when something happens, that we're ready for that in the course of competition and pursuing excellence in our lives. And then also that we're not stressed, that we lean into a process of who we are, our presence, and what our process is, and really focusing on those things to make sure that we're doing the things that got us here and doing the things that make us successful. One of the things I do with my athletes is I have them debrief every competition that they're in. And I think this would be a great exercise for you to go through as well, whether it's on a daily basis or on a weekly basis, or when you have a great moment that happens, debrief why that was a great moment. And then I'll think you'll get to some summary things that we create with our athletes that basically is the title page, whether you do it digitally or analog and writing it down. The title of this page would be, I perform at my best, or I do my best, or I play my best when I do these things. And then have 3 to 5 things that are on there, whether it be about attitude or your process or playing to certain strengths that you have. That can be very helpful because you review that before you go into competition or a stressful moment, or when you're in the middle of something that's very messy and challenging, that you go back to those things and you remind yourself, hey, I've got somebody who's foundational in my life, first and foremost, that can bring me peace. But second, I can lean into these things because I know that I perform at my best. I'm pursuing greatness in my life, and I create moments that matter when I lean into these things and do these things. So as you focus on excellence this week, as you focus on creating moments that matter, don't let interference and stress get in the way of you pursuing your purpose. And as always, let's make the most of the moments in our life.